Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So over the years I've made quite a lot of videos about cheating and affairs. That's because as a couples counsellor, a lot of the reasons that people come for couples counselling, I'd say it's in the top three definitely, is cheating. And that's either people deciding whether they want to remain in the relationship or struggling with the idea of, moving forward after the affair. So if you want to check out some of my other videos, I've done the psychology of cheating, repair after the affair. I think I've talked about can a relationship survive cheating, couples counselling, how that helps if there's been an affair, loads. So just check out my channel and you'll be able to see some of them. But what I want to talk about today is, can a relationship recover from cheating? And if so, these are just 5 tips that I'm just going to bring based on my experience of working with couples and also just my knowledge as well on this topic. So the first thing is, a lot of people will make the mistake of saying that they want to go back to how they were before the cheating. Now that seems to be reasonable, but what you have to think about is everything that happens in your relationship will have an impact, especially the negative stuff that happens, but even the positive. They're all memories, they're all a collection of things that have happened. So what you need to do in a way is to acknowledge that this has had an impact. It's created a dent in your relationship, it's created betrayal in your relationship. So instead of saying we want to get back to where we were, which means you want to sort of forget that this happened, or you want to try to recover from it to the point where you were saying we can just go back to what happened before, which I don't know even if that's possible. Another way of looking at it or reframing it is to say we want to start from where we are now. So that's about acknowledging that this affair has happened, acknowledging what the affair has done to the relationship, but saying that moving forward, we want to look at where we are right now in the present moment, and when we want to look at where we want to be in the future. That's probably a more healthier and easier and less pressurized way of looking at it. So the second thing is to talk about what happened. So you need to consider having a no fear conversation. And all that consists of, really, there's lots of different ways. When I'm working with couples, I've done it in different ways. You can either have a timed conversation where one person speaks for 5 minutes or 3 minutes and the other person just listens and then the other person responds. Or you can do it in a way where you write down questions that you want to ask about the affair, you want to know certain details, and then you put a closure on it. Or it could be that you just decide that you're going to just have, whether it takes weeks, whether it takes days, whether it takes hours, you're going to just keep talking until you both feel like you have closure. There's different ways of doing it, but you have to decide. But the key thing is talking about it is just going to help. Lots of people will say, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear any details. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to even think about it. We're moving forward. Forget what happened. The difficulty with that is you're not, logically, that might seem like possible, but if you've had a major betrayal of trust in your relationship and it's been an event that is really significant and impactful, just brushing it under the carpet and saying I don't want to talk about it isn't gonna, usually that's not gonna work, because what will happen is you're gonna harbour emotions about it and you're gonna suppress them, or it's gonna come out in other ways. It's gonna come out in your energy and your behaviour towards your partner who's cheated. So whatever way you decide to talk about it, whether you do it in couples therapy, whether you have that 1 hour conversation and you just have closure from that, whether you talk about it over a period of time, really consider having those conversations rather than suppressing how you feel. The third thing is to review what you want your relationship to be like moving forward. So you can do that with a counsellor, you can do that with yourselves, and it is really just saying, this has happened, we're acknowledging it happened, but we don't want to stay here. We don't want to be stuck in this cycle of, talking about the cheating, but still being focused on the cheating. This is what we want our relationship to look like moving forward. It could be where you have some sort of agreement, couples agreement. How we want to operate as a couple is we want to have clear communication. How we want to operate as a couple is we want to make decisions together. We want to be disciplined enough as individuals that we're committed to the relationship so that this sort of thing won't happen again. You could do it as something where you write it down and then you have it printed out on a piece of paper in the living room. You could have it where you just not shake hands on it, but where you just make a verbal agreement, something which is cementing how you want your relationship to be moving forward. The fourth thing is taking accountability and responsibility for the cheating and giving honest reasons. So that's similar to what I've already said about having this no fear conversation, but it also falls on the person who's done the cheating to be very honest and to just be very accountable. Now, you might, as the person who's been cheated on, not want to hear some of the things that the person has to say, and you have to make that decision for yourself. If you don't want to hear details, don't push your partner to give you details. If they give you an answer and it's not satisfactory and you keep pushing and then they give you the honest answer, you can't then say, well, we're done then, because you've been asking for that. So an example would be if you say, what was the reason you cheated? And they say it was because I had an sexual attraction to this person, or I cheated because it was convenient, or I cheated because we weren't getting on, or we were on a break. Then it doesn't mean that justifies why they did what they did, but that's the answer. If they're giving you the honest answer, you have to then decide what you do with that. Do you accept that as an answer? Do you say to yourself, well, okay, we can now work on this? Or do you say, well, that's not a reason, I'm not satisfied with that. You just need to decide, but the key thing is that person has to take accountability. They can't put the blame on external factors, on you. They have to stand up and say, I cheated, I was the one that did this. I'm the one that's going to take accountability and responsibility for it. And not many people do that. They will say either I don't know, or it just happened, or I don't want to talk about it, or I don't remember, all sorts of things. And the reason is they're trying to protect you, because they don't want to tell you the actually honest truth, and they're trying to get unscathed as well. They don't want to get you saying something to them, so they just sort of say, I don't know. It's easier for people to just pretend that they don't know what happened, or it didn't mean anything, or they don't remember because they were drinking. I'd say that some of that is truth, but some of it is also I don't want to go into this conversation because I'm going to get more stick if I say the truth. And the final thing is about commitment to rebuild the trust. So if you make that decision that you're going to get back together as a couple, because you don't have to, you can say you're going to walk away. You can say someone cheated, so I'm not going to stay in this relationship. But if you want to work together as a couple to rebuild the trust, you have to make that happen over time. So that might include you giving your partner little activities which will show trust. So maybe you allow them to make big decisions that you usually make. Maybe it's you trust them that they say they're going out and they're going to call you at a particular time, and you're not sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. You're not texting them, why haven't you called me? You're trusting them that they're going to stick to their word. So once you've decided to stay, it's the two of you. You have to treat it as being, although the person who cheated is responsible for what they've done, the person who cheated is created the impact and the betrayal. So there's no getting away from that. But you can still, if you've decided to stay, then you work together as a team moving forward to say, how can we now rebuild this trust? So you, as the person who's been cheated on, would say, what opportunities can I give for this person to show me and build that trust back up? The person who cheated has to think, they need to think of things to do as well that can build the trust. So if you're working together, then you can recover from cheating in a relationship. If you're working with a counsellor, you definitely can at least give it a good go. In some cases, then maybe not. Maybe you talk it through and you decide that it's just too much. There's too much pain, too much hurt. I can't forgive, I can't move forward, I can't forget. Then that's fine. But I think, you have to make a decision of what it is that you want. If you want to stay in the relationship and you want to try and bring the trust back, you can't then keep recycling what's happened, because the person can't change what's happened. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. If you have, feel free to leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Share this with others if you think that they will benefit too. And I will also leave in the description my other places you can find me on social media. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.